We reverse type 2 diabetes all the time, and people don't believe it. Doctors don't believe it. But almost every week, we have another success story, someone with type 2 diabetes for years, and now their sugar levels are less than 5.7. That doctors can't believe it.
Hey, Kyle Colbert here, and this is Dr. Colbert's broadcast. I'm here with my dad, Dr. Don Colbert, and my mom, Mary Colbert, and this show is about knowing your number. Do you know your number? What number? There's 12 different numbers you need to know. One is high blood pressure. We went over that. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. What is number two?
Know your blood sugar. Your blood sugar is critical. You see.
Well, hold on. Know your blood sugar. So when you get a blood test, it's called what, though?
Hemoglobin A1C.
Write that down.
Now, it's hemoglobin A1C. Tells me what your blood sugar's been over the last 2 to 3 months. It's actually a percentage of how much sugar has adhered to your red blood cells. And it should be less than 5.7. If it's not, your sugar's too high. Now, the lower it is, the better. I keep mine around 5.0. And I do that with by following the diet, beyond keto with the healthy Mediterranean, and by taking certain supplements like our Carb Assist and Berberine. So the lower you can keep your sugar, the healthier you will age. We have found that when your sugar's too high, especially over 5-6, your body starts aging rapidly.
I think that's important for people to understand that when you see your blood sugar at 5.7, you're pre-diabetic.
You're aging rapidly, women. You don't want to age rapidly, and that's the key. And
what about the men?
When your sugar's high, guys, you are developing plaque in your arteries. And the first artery that develops plaque is your penile artery. So you get ED. So that's why it's so important.
Now you got the guy's attention.
So that's right. Women, if yours is great, 5.7 or greater, you're developing more wrinkles, more sagging skin. We're going to talk about that in a later show, how to prevent that. We have the keys to it. Now, again, you can't prevent all of that, but you can slow it down. But the key is this. Know your numbers. Here's your numbers. If your hemoglobin A1C is 5.7 to 6.4, you are pre-diabetic. Now, how many people in the U.S. have pre-diabetes? 38%.
38%?
Pre-diabetes.
Are pre-diabetic.
So there's cut up for type 2 diabetes. They don't have it yet.
Yeah. Now, okay, diabetes is defined as a hemoglobin A1C of 6.5 or greater. 11.6% are diabetic in the U.S. Combine those together, 49.6% of Americans have either diabetes or pre-diabetes. 50%. No wonder people are getting disease. When you sign up for diabetes, you sign up for almost every chronic disease there is, including heart disease, dementia, strokes, heart attacks, sudden death, peripheral vascular disease, kidney disease, eye disease, periodontal disease. Almost every disease is like having your front door open so any critter can crawl into your body or into your house. Your home is your body, and literally it sets you up for every disease there is, pretty much.
My goodness. Now, diabetes, people that have pre-diabetes aren't necessarily overweight. A lot of people.
Oh, sure.
I was just reading a recent study where people who drink at least one soda a day have a 2 to 3 times increase in their chance of diabetes or pre-diabetes. And if they have 2 a day, it increases 4 to 6 times.
Well, it's all that sugar in a soda. A 12-ounce soda has about, 13 grams of sugar in it. It's a lot of sugar.
Size 38 grams.
So that's a tremendous amount of sugar. But that's not just sugar. There's no fiber. So that's absorbed almost instantly, which raises your insulin, and then your body becomes insulin resistant. That's all type 2 diabetes is insulin resistant. Your insulin is not working properly. And what that insulin works is like a key, and almost every cell in the body on the outside of the cell has a receptor, an insulin receptor. And insulin goes into that insulin receptor like a key in a lock, and it unlocks it so the cell will take up the sugar. When your cells are insulin resistant, it means it's like a rusty lock. So the insulin, which is the key, is going into the receptor, but it's not unlocking the cell to open it up for the sugar to come in. Sugar staying outside your cell. So what happens? Increased urination, increased thirst. And so that's what's happening. The body cannot get the nutrition it needs. The brain runs on sugar, but glucose. And so the brain, you get severe brain fog, severe fatigue. And so that's what we are seeing, an epidemic of diabetes and pre-diabetes in this country. And it is opening the door to chronic diseases. We've got to know our numbers. We have to know our hemoglobin A1C and bring it down below 5.7 is the key number.
And we tell you how to do
Yes,
that.
we do.
So we're not going to just tell you what you can't do. We're going to tell you what you need to do. And one thing you need to do is when you get your blood test, if your numbers are all out of whack, after you hear these talks and you find out what's really going on with you, if you want to live long and strong, you want to get on this right away and begin to correct it. Because everything that we're going to share with you can't be corrected. That's what's exciting to know.
Yes.
And that is key. A lot of people think, well, I inherited diabetes. My mom had it. My dad had it, whatever. Let me just tell you something. You catch a cold, you catch a flu, but you develop disease. And you develop disease from making consistent wrong choices. Do you understand that? It doesn't just jump on you. It's not like the flu or COVID or something like a strep throat. Disease is developed from making wrong choices. So guess what? When you begin to make the right choices, you're now going back in the right direction and your body will respond. God has made this body, Don, to heal.
Yes.
To heal itself and respond. When it's given the right support, the right things, and you did the things that you need to do to heal it, it heals.
Just to clarify, when someone goes and gets their blood taken, can they knock out all 12
Yes.
numbers with
in the
one?
lab.
So you don't have to get your blood drawn 12 different times.
No,
One time,
you do it all.
12 numbers.
But like some numbers include your waist measurement and your weight. Those are two numbers, but actually one and the same with obesity and truncal obesity.
Okay, it doesn't include blood work. I
Right.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, but let me explain. Here's on a scientific basis. A lot of you are thinking scientifically. When you choose to have pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, it increases your advanced glycation end products. These age your body. They age your organs. Your organs are getting older. Your skin is getting older. Your kidneys are aging. Your brain is aging. Your arteries are aging. You're forming plaque in your arteries. You're forming plaque throughout your entire body when you choose to have type 2 diabetes. So it's like a house with termites is the best way to
I love
explain
that
it.
analogy. I've heard you say that.
And when a house has termites, the house looks fine. But then all of a sudden, you push in next to a window, because one time, remember our house one time we had our windowsill. We looked at our window and we had
a long time ago here.
we had termites in our windowsill, and literally we touched it and it caved in. And that's what happens almost similar with diabetes. Literally, it starts to, these advanced glycation end products slowly age and destroy and create free radical reactions in your body. They age your kidneys, they age your brain, they age every blood vessel in your body, especially those furthest from the heart in the toes. And eventually these arteries, it's kind of like a tree you've pruned too much, and these arteries are not functioning well, so people have to have their toes amputated. It affects the arteries in the eyes. These arteries bleed. People get blindness. It affects arteries throughout the entire body and ages you, and you literally sign up for all of these diseases. And you say, why do we do that? Because the foods that trigger this are the most addictive foods on the planet. And it's the foods like the sugar, the cakes, the pies, the cookies, all of these tremendous foods that taste so good. But let me explain something. The flesh is stupid. It craves the very foods that invite disease in.
Isn't that something?
And so we have all of these manufacturers that are creating these addictive foods where you can't eat just one. And when you have that chocolate thunder from down under, or you have that donut, or you have that cake, or you have that ice cream, that Haagen-Dazs, or any of that other kind of ice cream that's so addictive, you have to have it every night or every day or every meal, and you can't eat just one bite.
Oh, that's like cherry Coke for me.
So you can't do it.
So hard to put it
But
straight.
let me explain something to you. James 4:7 says, submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. Now, so many Christians are out there, and they can't resist a piece of cake, a bowl of ice cream, a donut, a cookie. They're eating them by the sleeve, and they're inviting disease into their body. And then they go to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, you're obese. Oh, you have diabetes. Oh, you have high blood pressure. But they don't get to the root problem. They just give you a medication. You're in there 5 or 10 minutes. You leave with 5 or 10 meds, and you don't know how to change it. The way you change it, you crucify your flesh. It's so
Now
funny.
there's
Paul,
now listen, Don
yeah,
Don lives a
I
crucified
do.
life.
I crucify it every day.
So it's hard for him to identify with the rest of us.
You're right. That's true.
But I identify with you. I do. I understand that short-term good feel eat that we all kind of look for. Um, and that's what these carbs do. They
They do.
give you this short-term
A
gratification.
comfort food.
That's why we have drug addiction, alcohol addiction, people vape, they smoke, because this flesh
Mm-hmm.
craves the very
Yes.
thing that's killing them.
It does.
So when you put these things on the same level as that, knowing they're destructive, you can begin to deliberately, there are some things you can do to help you with not craving it, like berberine.
Yes. This is critical.
Right.
Absolutely, carb assist.
Yeah, our carb assist, let me just
Well,
explain
this is
it.
what those shots are doing.
Well, it supports wellness.
Those fat
It
shots
does
are
help.
doing
It's
that.
similar.
That's what they're kind of doing.
Well, this supports healthy blood sugar levels. Let me explain something to you. Once you get your blood sugar and your hemoglobin A1C down usually below 5.5 or 5.4, that's almost a sweet spot where it lowers your insulin levels and it reduces your sugar cravings, similar sometimes to these GLP agonists. And so I love the fact that we have the carb assist, and I combine it with some extra berberine. We get them on usually around 600 milligrams twice a day, along with the Beyond Keto diet. And these are the keys for bringing that sugar down so that you can control it.
And not
But
to mention the fiber with it.
the fiber helps it
What happened,
tremendously.
the fiber, which is so amazing, which it helped me. And what I did is I'm a carbaholic. I love my carbs, my chips, my donuts, my
you do.
coffee. I'm a carbaholic. I feel like I'm in confession right now. But what it did do, and I had to make a mental decision because my numbers were all off.
They were.
And I realized I want to live long and strong. I have 7 grandchildren and 2 sons, and I want to live long and I want to see their children born. And I thought, Mary, you don't want to check out early because of a donut.
Yes, amen.
You don't want to check out early because of cake or cookies, do you? I mean, do you really want to make those choices? So I had to come to a place of understanding that no, I want to make right choices because I want to be here as long as I believe God wants me here. And part of what I did, and it helped me, because these fat shots do kill some of the craving, and it does help some. It's not that I'm sitting here endorsing that. I'm just saying, having done all, do it if you have to. The thing is, we have the carb assist, and along with berberine, what I
and
did,
fiber zone.
it killed
And
my
keto.
carb crave.
There's 4 key things you got to do.
It
These
kills
are the 4 key things you put together
It did.
that will help to lower your sugar craving dramatically.
Right.
Number 1, you have got to get on a Beyond Keto diet. This is the key.
Yep.
Now, once you reach your goal, switch over to the healthy Mediterranean. This is the key. That is the diet that does it. Also, in order to help you achieve that, you've got to take some supplements to help you. These are natural supplements. My Carb Assist combines berberine with alpha lipoic acid, with chromium, with vanadium, with Ceylon cinnamon. All of these are natural ways to support healthy blood sugar levels. And then an extra dose of berberine, and then fiber. The fiber zone, we have the berry flavor and the key lime one that I especially love. And I take it every day. I take a heaping teaspoon of it.
Oh, we can tell.
But a lot of my patients will take it twice a day if they need it to get their fiber intake, because what it does, the fiber combines with the food you've eaten, it lowers the glycemic index in it. So instead of getting a burst of sugar absorbed in your bloodstream and a burst of insulin telling you to gain fat and weight, it literally causes a trickle into your bloodstream. so you don't get that sugar surge or that insulin surge. And when that insulin goes up and 3 hours later, your sugar plummets and you're on the sugar roller coaster where you got to have sugars and garbage and processed carbs every 3 to 4 hours, and you're stuck in that.
Don and I, when we went and preached at this church a couple of weeks ago at the hotel. They had the most incredible
yes,
buffet laid out. And it's so funny because Don's watching me out the corner of her eye because there was one part of the buffet that had all of the pastries and the donuts and
Waffles,
and the pancakes and the biscuits and gravy.
yeah.
And he's watching me. He's not saying a word. He's being a wonderful husband, just keeping his mouth shut. He's not,
And sausage and
Nope.
bacon.
But I came back and I sat down, and of course I had the oatmeal or the yogurt with just some fruit,
Lots of berries,
and berries
full
and stuff. And
fruit,
he looked at me and he
watermelon.
goes, "M- Mary, you're not even tempted, are you?"
Wow.
I said, Don,
I was amazed.
he was. He was like, he was so happy to see. I said, Don, it's amazing. This carbosis works.
It does.
The crave, the desire. I don't even have the desire to want it. I do. I said, this is incredible. It's not even, it wasn't even tempting to me.
Well,
It's
that's
not.
the key. Once you can get control of this blood sugar, know your hemoglobin A1C, know your fasting blood sugar, but the best is the hemoglobin A1C. Bring it down to normal, bring it down under 5.7, and especially the sweet spot is usually 5.4. And then all of a sudden that insulin drops, sugar drops, cravings for carbs start to drop, and you start to lose weight. Combine it with some key things: the ketozone diet, carb assist, the berberine, the fiber zone, the exercise, and intermittent fasting, and all of a sudden you've got the key components for reversing pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. We reverse type 2 diabetes all the time, and
That's
people don't believe it. Doctors don't believe it. But almost every week we have another success story, someone with type 2 diabetes for years, and now their sugar levels are less than 5.7. That doctors can't believe it. They go to their family doctor. I just had a patient last week. They go to their family doctor, and their blood sugar is normal. They've had it for maybe 10 or 15 years, and it's down to normal. They said, how are you doing that? But they're on the full program. They're on the full program, and their sugar, their hemoglobin A1C is normal. And these people, their energy's back. They're living long and strong. They're reversing diseases, many diseases.
I just want to encourage you to make the decision, to make the change. Do you know that that's half the battle is right here when you mentally make the decision? For me, when I did my blood test and I saw my A1C, I've had it below my whole life. It was 5.7. I flipped out. I was like, no,
And then you saw your HSCRP high, your inflammatory mark.
was off the chart. And I'm just telling you, that works. Get your blood test, go get it, and we're going to cover some more. We're not done. We have about 10 more topics to cover, but these are
Amen,
life-changing
they are.
information. If you get a hold of this and you follow it, you will live long and
Amen.
strong.
You know what's amazing is I was just thinking about knowing your number. And you know what job position is the happiest job position? And it's single-handedly because they know their number? Athletes.
Yes, that's true. Very
Athletes
good.
follow their numbers,
do.
their stats. They know
That's true.
how many three-pointers they're had, who's had touchdowns, who's the fastest.
Very
Uh,
good, Kyle.
When they go to the combine, they know how high they can jump, how fast the 50-yard.
They know
Very
all the
good.
numbers, but they don't
right.
just know it, they track it.
They do.
And the key is
There you
not getting
go.
it done
That's
once,
very good.
but tracking it and staying with it. Now, we also have a free keto zone challenge. You can go to divinehealth.com/challenge. This is something that Dad and I set up where you
Amen.
can literally sign up for it for free, and we send you emails and videos. Dad and I,
Amen.
we walk you through 21 days of a challenge, just like Beyond Keto and Keto Zone. And we have recipes in there, and we have a Facebook group. We hope you stay connected. Stay with us. We've got 10 more to go.